I was gonna do. Damn it!
What?
Damn, I
You
was
were
gonna
just
do the meat.
I know. I was like, I couldn't think of anything else to like.
Well, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. I
There you go. I like it. Cheers.
I mean, people. I really just realized that when you release this a podcast, no one's going to get the
No.
visual joke I just did. I'm drinking a White Claw for those of you listening to
Yes.
the podcast later. Sorry.
Anybody listening, it's he sipped a White Claw. You know, claw. You know, there's something there.
Yeah.
Oh,
And it's black cherry.
black cherries. So there you go. We got some black cats in here. In this episode, welcome everybody to DC Fan-imated. I'm, of course, Dave the Film Junkie. With me, as always, Mr. Scott McClellan.
Hi, you guys. How y'all doing tonight? It's
Hopefully they're doing good.
I know. I'm gonna start off by saying something.
Okay.
I just want to set the mood for the evening. You know,
I like it.
And light a few candles, play a little Barry White.
I was about to say, like, can't get enough of your love, baby. I just heard that song not too long ago.
Anyways, episode. I'm just gonna go ahead and put it out there. Not terrible, not as bad as I remembered it being. Not great, but not as bad.
It's a fun episode. It's a fun episode.
It's a fun episode. And I'm going to go down a rabbit hole in this episode because now that I'm a bigger DC fan as a 40-year-old than I was when I was 16.
Okay.
There was totally like some really like cool deep cut DC reference in this episode.
I like it.
I'm just saying there's more than meets the eye. And yes, I'm seeing Transformers this Saturday. So that just
more than
meets the eye.
Ooh, that's right. They're doing like Saturday screenings all over the place, right?
There's an early access screenings. I'm taking the boys. So y'all go ahead and plug now. If you want to go ahead and subscribe to the Squadcast Media YouTube channel,
do it.
My goal is to do a Film Junkie style first reaction in the car, like I did with Dune Part 2, which thank all y'all for watching that one because that thing like blew up when I wasn't looking. But I'm gonna have my boys in the car. I'm gonna try to do a first reaction and get the 11-year-old, the 8-year-old, and the 4-year-old to also give first reactions.
That's gonna be fun.
That's gonna be fun. I'm gonna struggle to probably get 2 of the 3 of them on camera. The one who's going to be the least eloquent is going to be the one who's on camera because that's going to be Callum because he's just going to want to be like, doing that. And the 11-year-old is going to be like the teenager who was like, Dad, stop it.
Stop. You're embarrassing
me. Yeah.
That's that happening. Fun. So yeah, guys, subscribe to Scott's channel. I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be interesting to see. Go ahead and exit out. Come back in. You're pixelating as we do. Yeah, we're with you on that, Ryan. Yeah, we don't really like the new design that much either. Seriously, this is one of the many reasons I just go, why? Or yeah, the Catwoman redesign is definitely not the greatest. We've talked about it. Yeah, we got a couple people in the chat saying like, yeah, the Catwoman redesign is just kind of
I don't. Once again, and we talked about this with You Scratch My Back. The Selena redesign's fine. It's when she's Catwoman that it really just doesn't do it for me. So
yeah, I mean, she looks great when she's got the dark hair, the short dark hair, which we've seen. And yeah, she looks great right there, but it's just like, why did you make her face white when she wears the Catwoman costume?
It makes no sense whatsoever. By the way,
putting on makeup. I mean, it's weird.
I want to make a point though. You know, I pixelated, I had to do the whole thing.
Yeah,
we commented on this offline. You know, after we ended the stream. No, I never pixelated once the whole time we were talking about critters. Why that episode? Does it work perfectly?
I know. It's weird. It's like StreamYard just picks and chooses, and with an episode like last week, like Critters, which we just tore into, had fun tearing into. You didn't pixelate once, and then now we get to an episode that we were like, "Hey, this is fun. Hey, this is something.
It's okay. It's fine."
And then all of a sudden, guess what happens? It's like,
I hate you, StreamYard. I hate you so hard.
Good Lord. But anyways, yes, we're talking about Cult of the Cat.
Not the Cult of the Cat. I was
not
an asshole to
the-
Dave before the show started. Just so you all know.
Well, to be fair, I was saying the Cult of the Cat a lot in the members only stream. So you just wanted to make sure it's all good. It's all good, you know. So, you know, just that's what we do here. I mean, it's you know, I lead the way into all this stuff. Scott corrects the grammar and the pronunciations. You know, that's our, you know, it's part of
And
our
I'm there like spell checking the YouTube video link, going delete the link. You need to update the link. I'm not going to post this until you fix it. And because you know, there's some places that once you
sometimes I'm in a hurry, so yeah.
No, and sometimes, and the problem is that when you post the link, a lot of like when I posted on Vero, if you go back and you edit it,
It won't change.
it doesn't change.
Yeah.
So it's just like I'm not leaving this fucking typo on my profile. No.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I noticed that too. So yeah, it's just like, yeah, when it comes to Vero, like if you try to repost it, sometimes it'll even happen on Twitter where you edit it and then even when it shows and it populates that link, it'll still show the original title. And it's like, it's frustrating that it doesn't like auto populate or whatever the heck, you know. So but
I want to take a moment.
Okay.
I want to take a moment. Look underneath us.
Episode 100. We're 100 episodes in.
100 episodes of Batman the Animated Series.
Crazy.
That is crazy.
It is crazy to think about because that's where it all, I mean, again, we've talked about it where it's just like how this whole thing started was literally just like, I mean, I'm not going to lie that you know, when I thought about, hey, wouldn't it be fun to do this? I got inspiration. I always, you know, it is inspiration. And I always like to give a plug to those guys. But when it comes to Stephen Colbert and Mr. Andrew Dice, who did BVS by the Minute, I thought that was just a great concept, and it is a great concept, great podcast, and they're still doing things, and they're still doing things where they're breaking down certain things. And I just thought, wow, what about breaking down every episode of Batman the Animated Series? And
Which,
I thought,
by the way, since we last streamed, turned 32 years
yeah,
old.
that's right. Yesterday, right? Or was it today?
No, it was not yesterday.
Or
It was
2 days ago.
It was Monday. I think
Yeah.
it was Monday that it
It's
turned 32 years. Jeez.
It's crazy. But yeah, I mean, it was just one of those things where it was like, okay, who am I? And it was like a no-brainer of who was going to be like, who would want to do this? I know. Sure enough, when I hit him, he said, fuck yeah. I mean, that was like your literal response was, fuck yeah. I'm pretty sure it was. So,
oh yeah, it was definitely because I was in the shower. I was no, I was wearing because I wear my Apple Watch because I put on like the water mode but I still get the texts when it comes through, and I just saw that was like, yeah, yeah.
And then it was like, hey, that's not enough. We got to talk about this whole goddamn animated universe. So, but it is crazy that we've talked. This is now our 100th time talking about Batman the Animated Series.
I know. So,
it's
been
that.
so much. Well, I'm going to be honest with you. When this episode started, it was a little weird because it was like, I was getting a little like League of Shadows vibe from cat ninjas.
Yes. We got these little cat ninjas who have Wolverine claws.
Yeah, I know. Oh, by the way, I'm going to go ahead and jump to it now. But the chick looks totally like X-23.
Yeah. I was thinking that too. I was like, there's a female cat ninja person. Yeah, who like, well, when we finally see her in just like a normal attire, it's like, yeah, somebody was like, did somebody when they were getting these designs go, isn't this kind of like a character over in the Marvel universe?
Well, no, X-23 wasn't invented yet.
Oh, that's right. Came later.
Right. Yeah, X-23 didn't show. This is 1998, man. Yeah. X-23 wasn't around yet.
Ooh, I forget that X-23 was fairly recent if you think about it.
Extremely recent when you in the scope of things. So no, but the fact that she's got like the tight leather pants on, and then she's got like what I assume would be like a leather bikini top kind of deal. It's like that's kind of what X-23 wears in the comics.
Yeah, and then she's got the claws.
I think she's got the Wolverine claws.
It's a little crazy. Go ahead and exit out again. Of course. Damn StreamYard. Not one foul up last week. So weird. So weird how it is. I know. And I was like thinking about trying to do something different to her. I don't have to use StreamYard, but it's a whole mess. Anyways, you're back. We're good. And yeah, when this whole thing starts out, I mean, it's basically just Selena stealing things as she does.
Another cat statue. I mean,
Another
how
cat
many
statue.
cat statues does Selena need?
I know,
Uh,
right?
something that struck me throughout this episode, and it's a weird because we've already talked about how this is tone shift between the original 85 episodes of the animated series and the new Batman adventures. But it's interesting to me that in the original 85, Selena was definitely an animal rights activist.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, uh, not quite an environmentalist. It's more the animal. It was more the animals thing. And yet, by the time we get to the new Batman adventures, that's just out the window, and she's just a thief.
Yeah.
They're like that motivation. Because you go back and watch like Cat in the Claw Part 1 and Part 2. You go back and watch Cat Scratch Fever or Tiger Tiger. It's always about the animals.
Yeah,
It really the stealing is kind of a means to an end as far as the animal rights issues go. But now, by this point, it's just stealing for, stealing's sake. And
yeah.
it loses I mean, and let me don't misconstrue me. I mean, that's the way Catwoman is in the comics. She's a thief, and depending on which era of the comics she's in, her motivations change. Who's riding her, what time period, any of that. But I just feel it just I don't know. I think as I can criticize the new Batman adventures for being just a little bit more vanilla, a little bit more comic booky than those original 85 episodes, I do feel like we lose a little something with Catwoman's character when she's now just a thief.
Yeah.
Instead of having that animal rights kind of subtext going on for her character.
Yeah, and adds a little it adds layers to her. What's kind of funny too is like I heard a little Catwoman fact today on the morning show that I listened to over here.
Ooh.
Who plays Catwoman in the Batman 66 movie?
Lee Merriweather.
Lee Merriweather. Who was supposed to play Catwoman?
That was supposed to be dear God, I'm forgetting her. The actress in the first season of the show.
But she could not play. Who is it?
Oh God,
I know.
I cannot. I feel so bad. I mean, it's ooh la la, but it's like who? Okay, I'm gonna have to look her up because I cannot believe I am blanking on the Catwoman from the show.
Yeah. But I just heard it today because the who played in the 60s?
Julie Newmar. Oh dear
Julie
God.
Newmar, yeah. I was like, I was even thinking that name too, but I thought I was wrong. It's okay. But she couldn't play because she had another engagement. So they brought in what's her name again?
Lee Merriweather.
And apparently she was like a Miss America winner.
Yeah.
She was like one of the first, or like there's been an anniversary since she won. I don't know. I just heard that today and I was like, oh, interesting. Even though she's not Russian, or is she Russian?
No,
she's Russian.
The character she played Kitka in the movie. Like that was her, secret identity in the movie. But but she's actually kind of my favorite of the 366 Catwomen. I really like.
I'm not gonna lie. I mean, like when I think about Catwoman, I think about the 66 version, and yeah, she was very gorgeous. And I was like, oh wow, she was a Miss America winner, champion, whatever. So, and it was like the anniversary of when she did it or something like that. And yeah, anyways, I don't know, just a little fact,
Catwoman fact for a Catwoman episode.
Hey, whatever, it's there. And so obviously we got her. Basically, she's stealing that statue. We get the cat ninjas that happen, and then of course we get a panther that just shows up too. That's supposed to take her on, but apparently Catwoman in this episode is very much a cat whisperer.
Yes, but that I can buy. Like,
Yeah, I could buy that
that
too.
was not a bridge too far from me in this
No, it wasn't. It wasn't
episode.
one of those things where it's like, oh, now all of a sudden she just can talk to Cat. No, it's just like one of those things where it's like, no, this fits because. And I was wondering how you were going to feel about that because it happens twice in this episode, and it
But
happens.
that's the cool thing, though. They set it up with the Panther,
Yeah,
so
for later on.
So it pays off with the Gene Monster at the end. I'm cool with it. And also, I'm a cat person. I have 2 cats.
Yeah, there you
You,
go.
I mean, there's when you're a cat person, you just give off that energy. Like a cat knows its staff.
It's
And
animals are interesting because I mean, like I don't know how many times you see those videos of like you see like a tiger or a fucking lion reuniting to the person that raised them. And you go, and the fucking thing just like runs out of the cage and jumps on them, but it's all loving. It's like, oh my God. At first you just go, ah, and then it's just like, no, it's all loving and it's all cats, no matter what. I think, in the same, not as much, when it comes to wolves and dogs, but like no matter what, a cat, it's just like they do the, even if it's a lion to a fucking regular, just, Siamese cat, they just do the same shit. And they do like almost, it's just like, it's all because it's just, that's where they come from. It's all just from, it's just, I don't know. But so it checks out, and I was like wondering how you felt about that.
I was cool with it. I mean, it's comic booky. It's
Yeah,
Batman. It's fine, but it's like no. If she's gonna give, but it's Catwoman.
yeah,
You'd expect it from Catwoman that she can just cat whisper anything,
yeah.
and I go with it, man. It didn't bother me none. No skin off my nose.
There you go. Go ahead and exit out again. Pixelating once again. But yeah, so this panther shows up, and of course, you know, Catwoman just knows how to, basically just knows how to deal with that. And then so she gets away. So then she gets away, and obviously they go after her, and then we get introduced to a character that we don't know who it is yet, but he's like this good looking dude who is holding a cat like a villain does.
Very, very Blofeld-esque.
Yes, exactly.
It's a white cat. It's always a white cat.
Yeah, I know, right?
What is it with our villains? And dude, he's wearing a black suit. I'm just saying, where's your lint roller? Like,
Right. Oh,
okay,
right.
I'm sorry. Tangent, but okay. But it just made me think about this. It's a small thing. It's a small thing, but I've always loved it. Okay, the Daniel Craig movie, the Daniel Craig James Bond movie, Spectre.
Yes.
Okay, where we get introduced. Spoiler alert for a movie that's however many years old at this point.
10,
I
8.
know when we get introduced to Christoph Waltz, and it's revealed that he is Blofeld in that movie. And he's got the white cat, and Daniel Craig is strapped to the table. It looks like out of Goldfinger because it's like I'm going to go, no, Mister, you expect me to talk? No, Mister Bond, I expect you to die. But Christoph Waltz is petting the white cat like Blofeld does in the Bond movies. But he does this thing, and it makes me laugh here when I see this guy wearing the black suit. Watch Christoph Waltz. He actually takes the time before he gets up after he like taunts Bond and threatens him. He starts picking the cat hair off
Oh,
of
that's
his
so awesome.
black suit.
I
And
have
I
to
just
watch that again.
I just look at Christoph and go, that's just like it's I love actors who do like do the little small things in their performances, and watching a guy wearing black turtleneck, black suit, petting a white cat, and he just takes the time to go, oh yeah,
Yeah,
a little
like
cat fur on me.
yeah, would have been even funnier if he pulled out a lint roller and just started just doing that, just rolling it all over. That would have been that would have been too
That would have been the Austin Powers version
yes,
of that
that would have
scene.
been like parody, like yeah, you get to parody stuff. So, but yeah, I'm gonna have to. When it comes to Spectre, I haven't. I've probably only watched it twice. So yeah, I need to
Well,
watch. It's one of those divisive ones.
It's one of those divisive because what happens. This is a complete tangent, but I'm going to
Oh
go
yeah, we're
anyway.
totally going for it.
It's one of those issues where in the Daniel Craig era, you would usually have a movie that just banged. I mean, it fucked. It was amazing. And then the one after it
Right?
suffered in comparison. Not saying the next one after. I mean, Quantum of Solace had the writer's strike of 07 to deal. I mean, literally, the guy like dropped the script off like seconds before the strike started. But you get Casino Royale, and everyone is just like, oh.
Yeah.
And
And
then
then
you get
Quantum
Quantum
of
of
Solace,
Solace.
and everybody's like, "Meh."
Then you
And
get
then Skyline.
Skyfall.
Sorry, that's an alien movie.
Yeah,
Alien type movie.
and you get Skyfall, and we're all like, ah. And then you get Spectre, which I don't think is as bad as people says it is.
No.
But you're coming off of Skyfall, and it's like
You just
nothing's
kinda
gonna.
go, okay. Yeah. I
Sorry.
know. It was like every other, yeah. So there's
Yeah.
our James Bond tangent right there.
There we go. Because bad guy in a black suit petting a white cat. The defense rests. I'm sorry.
There you go.
I defend this tangent.
There you go. I like it too. So then of course, she's getting away from these guys. And then of course, hey, what's Batman doing? Well, he's
Okay, hold on. I want to stop right there.
okay.
Because even before we get to Batman,
Yeah.
she's running through the alleys of Gotham City. She's kind of tired. Do you feel like this is picking up right after her escape that we just saw? Or do you feel like time has passed and she's been on the run for a little bit from these cat ninjas?
Good question. I assume that it was just right after.
Okay.
But you bring up a good point that it could be because she does bring up that, that doesn't she bring up the fact that like she's like, oh yeah, I've been on the run kind of thing.
Yeah, well, okay, so if we're following our breakdown of the episode, so she has her second encounter with the cat ninjas. She gets away from them. By the way, they're driving these cherry red motorbikes. I mean, that's not going to stand out at all.
Right.
I'm just saying, you're wearing cat ninjas, but red motorcycles.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's gonna stick out.
That's a choice. We see Batman catching some jewelry thieves. He goes to the Batmobile, and Selina's, of course, like, just like, hello.
I know, like, yeah, when he gets done. I mean, you know what? I mean, for if you're yeah, you have a night of crime fighting and then you open up your Batmobile and you see sexy little Catwoman just going, hi. And it's just like, I mean, I would be like, okay, hey.
Hi, these pets are
hello.
tiger. Okay.
She's just getting a little cat nap in there, and then she's first off, how did she get in there? But I mean, it's Catwoman.
It's Catwoman. I would, if Jason Todd can steal the wheels off the Batmobile, Catwoman can get into the Batmobile. That's just them's the rules. That's just
the rules, and we can suspend our disbelief because it's just, I don't know. I actually really like that. Go ahead and exit out again, man. It is just working overtime tonight. But yeah, she just is right there. She's right there, like in the Batmobile, just like, yeah, what have you been doing? Well, I'm being chased by, cat ninjas while you're just knocking off jewelry thieves over here.
But that's when she mentions that, the past month has been
okay. So yeah, so you might be onto something here. This might not be the same night. It might just be she has been, doing all this. So I think you actually might be correct on that because she does.
No, I'm not saying that I'm right or I'm wrong. I'm just saying.
I'm saying you're right.
Well, thank you. It's a comfortable feeling you have.
It is.
Scott's right. I have to hear it from somebody. I'm not going to hear it from my wife. I mean, it's just...
So I'm here for. So then of course it's like, okay, she starts talking about that, and then Batman's just not having it. It's like, well, I know a place you can go, and he's like basically saying, yeah, you can go to jail. And then of course, then all of a sudden we start getting the ninjas that are shooting at the Batmobile, and it's like, oh, well, there it is. There's that, but of course, There is a cool thing that that they show with the Batmobile, because a tire gets like shot out, and then it's just like whoop, just gets replaced by a new tire. Like,
No, that was
whoa.
cool because there's part of me that looks at the Batmobile going, okay, the guy threw one of those. I don't even know what you call those
Yeah,
things.
yeah, the little ball things that
Little
explode.
balls with the spikes.
Yeah,
And I personally would think that the Batmobile would have tires that would be like resistant to
yeah,
that. They he has people shooting at him all the time. If they can't blow out the tires with the guns, it's like, why should those little like spiky ball thingies work? But okay, we're gonna accept the fact that the spiky ball thingies work and they blow the tire. But the fact that the Batmobile can eject the tire and then immediately like pit crew another tire onto the Batmobile, that's some badass shit. I
that
ain't
was
gonna
cool.
lie.
That was cool. That was cool. And then, of course, they get away, and this is where we get our first look of the female of the bunch. She, of course, just like takes her mask off and being frustrated and all that stuff. And then, of course, we get where are they at in this scene right here, where they're just on a computer?
Okay, it was called like Lucky Kitty Imports.
Okay, so of course,
So
cat in the name.
I'm assuming that this is a like a shell corporation or a front. Like obviously it's a debunked thing, but I'm assuming that it's probably some sort of fact. Because the villains in Gotham City amazingly can find themed businesses
Yeah,
that just happens to match their shtick, but are also have been abandoned for looks like decades. It's a talent. I
for
mean,
real.
the real estate in Gotham is just it's diversified beyond recognition.
For
Uh,
real.
but so I'm assuming it's Catwoman's hideout at the time.
Yeah,
However, here's where I do scoff and I go, wait a minute. So Batman's on some random
yeah.
PC in this place. I want to know how he's accessing all these records from the random computer in
Batman.
Catwoman's handout.
It's Batman. He could find it all, man. He's got, I don't know, 22 minutes, 21 minutes. We got to fit in this episode, so we got to get something where we get some exposition on who this cult is. But then, of course, shit goes down because, and I
But we
love it.
can't.
Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Am I jumping too far?
You are jumping too far, sir.
Okay.
Because who is our mystery dude with the
That's
white
right.
cat?
Thomas Blake.
That is significant.
Okay, so I know that name sounds familiar. Go right ahead.
That is an actual Batman villain.
Yes.
Do you know who it is?
I'm trying to. No, go ahead. I'm trying to.
Catman.
Wait. What?
Yeah, Catman.
Oh, Catman. I thought you said Batman. I was like, what? Because
No,
Catman. He's actually Catman.
he's
Yeah,
actually Thomas Blake is Catman.
that's right.
First appearance was Detective Comics number 311, cover date January 1963, created by Bill Finger
So
and
Bill
Jim
Finger.
Mooney.
Wow, that's cool. Bill Finger actually created him. I like it.
Yeah, when Bill Finger came back in the 60s, because Bill Finger would because Bill Finger came back, he wrote the books in the 60s and he was writing episodes for the anime for not the anime but for the 6 show. And so that so Catman dates back to 1963. He was his costume was literally based off of Catwoman's costume at the time, just
Of
with a
course.
different color scheme and for a guy instead of a woman. But what's significant is that when you dig into Catman's history, because he's been through a few iterations, but in the post-crisis era, he appeared in a 1995 crossover between Shadow of the Bat and Catwoman, those two titles. And it's in that crossover in 1995 that Catman's costume is retconned to belong to a South Sea cat cult.
Wow.
And so, because there was a story established in his second appearance in the 60s that the cloth of his suit kind of gave him 9 lives. So, but it was in this 95 crossover where they introduced the cat cult idea. So I'm, without any information directly telling me this, I'm putting two and two together. And so this idea of Thomas Blake being the head of this cat cult is probably inspired by that 95 crossover event in the comics.
For sure, for sure. Man, that's interesting. Yeah, because I was like, Thomas Blake, I was like, I know that name, and I even wrote it just on one line. I'm like, that's something. They don't just like mention something. That name sounds significant, and there it is.
Yep. Now, funny thing is that the voice of Thomas Blake.
Oh yeah, who's the voice?
Okay, now not a name, as it were, but a voice you've heard. So his name is Scott Cleverdon. His only claim to fame in live action really is that he was in The Prophecy 3.
Oh shit. Christopher Walken series?
Yes, he plays one of the angels in
wow.
the third direct to video sequels that was made to those movies.
First one great, and then it kind of
the first one's really good.
So good.
Another one of those Dimension films that we kind of went down the rabbit hole the other vodka stream a few months back. But voice wise, he was in Gargoyles.
Okay.
He was a lot of voices in Gargoyles. He was in Spider-Man the animated series.
No shit. As who?
Carnage.
Wow. All right.
And then we're going to see him again.
Oh, later on
in Batman Beyond.
Okay.
Because he's Jack in the Royal Flush Gang.
Well, there you go. All right. So he's in live action, not so much, but
video games, animated series. He's
a voice actor.
He's a voice actor, man. So
cool.
yeah.
All right, go ahead.
He's Scottish, actually.
Too. Yeah, he's Scottish. Go ahead and exit out again. Man, it's on crazy tonight, but that's cool though. See, that's what I love. I'm like, I was like, hey, sounds familiar, but I mean, didn't, I wouldn't never known when it comes to that stuff, but you just hear the voice, So,
I blame the cult. The
cult's happening. All right. So then when we figure out all that stuff, and then of course there's that, there's the trope, you see it a lot where it's like, oh yeah, Catwoman's explained something. You see like the red dot show up on her head, and obviously that means like someone's about to snipe her and kill her. And of course Batman's like, get down, and just tackles her down. And then of course it
is cool though that he throws some smoke bombs, which allows us to actually like see the laser, like the targeting lasers on the sniper rifles. That's cool. I like it. Even in animation, they were like, the only way you actually see those things is if you've got smoke for it to pass through.
Yeah. And then where they're at, there's like a furnace and there's like a chimney. So then it's like, all right, this is how we're going to get out.
Chimney.
Yeah, there's a Mary Poppins reference right there for you guys. Anyways,
did you really have to explain to Mary Poppins?
I know, but sometimes you just never know, Yeah, it's just what it is.
Kids these days.
I know. It's like, what? Mary who? Anyways,
practically perfect in every way.
I didn't see the remake with Emily Blunt. Did you?
I did. I saw it in theaters. Actually, took the kids.
Was it good?
It was fun. It was entertaining. I'll tell you, the best part was Dick Van Dyke coming back.
Yeah, I know. I remember hearing that he was, of course, going to have a cameo in there. But
dude!
But I remember watching the original as a kid so many times. So.
Mm-hmm. I enjoy it. It's worth a watch.
Okay, maybe one of these days I only just saw clips and stuff like that. So yeah, they're climbing, and it's funny because it's like it's such a Batman and Catwoman thing, because obviously he's got the grappling hook thing, and so he could just do it like that. But then she's like, I got my own, and she's got her claws, so she's just doing that whole thing. But then of course when they get into the where they were at, they were like, well, let's just light up this fucking furnace. And then it's just one of those like, nope, we got to get out. So Batman's just like, well, I got a grappling thing. I can just go boom. And he just grabs her and let's get the fuck out. And it's a cool shot. Like, I don't know. This is like my favorite part of the episode because it's just, they have like the shocked look on their faces. And of course it's like cut to commercial.
Yes.
That kind of moments, like that thing.
Fade
Yeah,
to
where
black.
both of them just go, whoa, and then all of a sudden
that's something we don't get anymore, which is the almost the like completely like still look face, so they can fade to black on whatever expression you want them to have.
I almost like just on HBO Max when I'm watching these, I want them like, cut to a commercial to fucking KFC right now. Just let me enjoy this like little commercial break, just to remind me of what it was like when this stuff happened, because it just fades out and you get about like 2 seconds of black and then it comes right back. Yeah, it's fine. But I'm just like, man, I almost just want a commercial break, or just show me a commercial of like Batman figurines or something like that. I don't know. Bring it. That's what they should do. Anyways,
that's what you don't have. That's when you don't pay for the ad-free plan.
Exactly. So, but then of course, Batman just goes, all right, here, I'm just going to go, and he grabs her. And then you see like the outside of like the chimney and it blows up. You see both of them just like fly off
in opposite directions too.
Yeah, it's a cool shot where it's just like boom, and they both fly off in opposite directions. And then she gets knocked out. He's like, obviously he's fine. And then of course, like she's like on the ground. They grab her and take her, and it's just like, well, she got taken. Oh, of course she was gonna, there's gonna be no other way. But so then of course now we're back into the culty castle kind of place, and we got
the estate. The
estate.
Yes. Which is okay. Okay. So being in the estate, I'm cool with that. Like I get it. They're culty. They're rich. But the random cave appearance where Batman shows up.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
yeah, because Batman gets one of the cat ninja dudes.
Yeah, Martin, I think.
Yeah, and to get him to start talking, as opposed to just like dangling him off of a building, we go back to the Batcave, and he starts doing like the whole.
Are they actually in the Batcave?
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering about that too. Maybe you found another spot. I don't know, because you don't see the Batcave. You just assume it is because it looks.
I'm very confused. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah,
I kind of lost the thread there. Like,
yeah, because he's doing the thing where it's like, he said his name is Martin.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wakes up and then he's just like, hey, and then you hear Batman just like, where's Catwoman kind of thing. You don't see him, you hear the voice, and all that stuff, which is great. I love that, but it's just, it's a little weird that it's like, well, did you actually take him all the way back to the Batcave and then do this whole theatrical thing where it's like, oh yeah, I'm going to do this. And then he's going to fall over the edge, and then I'm going to, grab him, pull him up, and then he's going to start talking and give me the fucking information I need. Yeah, it's a little weird. The setting is weird.
Yeah, I actually my brain didn't even go to the Batcave. My brain almost assumed it was like a cave underneath the.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. A did not connect to B, did not connect to C on that one for me, and I'm just like, guys, that kind of broke it a little bit. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, go ahead and exit ad again.
Oh my God, really?
I know it's really bad tonight. I don't know why. Yeah, the pixelating's really bad tonight. StreamYard's like, nope, we're not gonna have good video for sure. All right. Hopefully.
Now we're just going to blame your internet.
I know, right? Seriously. Maybe it is. So we get that. And then, of course, we have Catwoman, who is chained up. And we got Mr. Blake showing up again and basically just talking about. And then, Catwoman does her thing where she just is like, hey, I'm all about this if you want me to be. And they want to do like initiation when it comes to this whole cult thing. And, So we get that, and then of course he lets her off the chains, out of the chains. Of course, we get
she's off the chain,
she's
man.
off the chain, man. And then of course we have the X-23 girl who's just like doesn't trust her and wants to just totally just impale her with her
Wolverine claws. Yeah.
Yes, pretty much. She does not like her, of course. And then of course, so then Thomas Blake is just like, okay, well, here's your room. Go ahead, go up here. You're good. And
You
but
want to have
Catwoman,
some quality time?
yeah, there you go. And doing, obviously doing the thing that she does,
Well,
and
no,
then
he's like going
oh
full
yeah,
cult
he's
leader.
totally wanting her. Yeah.
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, he did the flirting first, and then he's like all about it. So, she's just did her thing, and he's like, all right, let's do that. Let's do all that. But in the room, all of a sudden she's just like, well, I made it here. Fuck it. I'm gonna start taking things.
I mean, it's stealing shit. I mean,
Yeah, that's what she does.
it's just weird that she goes from animal activist to kleptomaniac. Like
Yeah,
that's pretty
she's
much
very klepto in this version. And then of course Batman just shows up like, hey, I found you. Let's go. But then of course, she's doing this, and then she puts on the whole like, why can't I stop stealing?
Oh my god! Which is
Yeah.
funny because Adriana Barbeau is doing a really good performance in this episode. I mean, she does like earlier when they're in the Batmobile, he's like, "Well, who's after you?" And then the gun firing starts going off, and she goes, "Next question."
Yeah.
She has a delivery that
She does.
works so well for animation. Like she understands performance subtlety. So it's not always up here because sometimes you get some people who do voice acting and it's like you're not up here all the time. Having some inflection, having some variation makes you sound more natural. And Adriana just like she nails that so well. Redesign can suck all at once, but her vocal performance is just spot on.
Yeah, no, it totally is. And then she even, when she does all this, she kisses she kisses Batman. And and then he's just like not really having it. But then, it's funny because when it comes to Catwoman, it's like she's kind of stuck, in a rock and a hard place kind of thing, because it's like, well, I'm in this whole situation and they got Batman here, who is kind of my guy. But then I'm like, I don't want him to be, so I'm going to knock him out. And she does. She knocks out Batman with like her bag of, goods that she has.
Clock and
Stuff. Knocks him out. And then, of course, Blake shows up and is like, what is happening? And then he's like, oh, well, you just won your initiation here, but now we have to have a little sacrifice, a little thing that's going to be going. So there's more of this cult, than just like, hey, what's the initiation? Well, apparently it's just like, hey, well, you capture a bat and then maybe we'll bleed the bat dry. I don't know, I guess, because he does mention
the cult's a little fuzzy. The cult a little fuzzy on
we
details.
don't know the full details of what exactly they are doing here.
Why they exist.
Yeah. They don't go into the super details, and it doesn't get like supernatural, but maybe it is. I don't know. It's a weird thing. It kind of reminded me of like, are they going to do the thing they did with Blade in the first Blade movie, where they stick him in a temple and they drain his blood into like
badass scene?
Oh fuck yeah, so great, so good, so freaking good. But yeah, so we have this, and then she's proved herself, and then of course this is where we just get Batman into like this, this pit or whatever where everybody's looking over.
It's interesting. I felt myself being a little hypocritical, but I was okay with it.
Okay.
Because I gave Critters so much shit last week. For the entire episode. But specifically, I gave Critters shit because of Batman finding giant mutated farm animals.
True.
But yet
it fits here.
It fits. That's the thing. It's just weird because it's a gene spliced giant ass cat because it's a cat cult and they have rich money, which means sure they've been somehow like gene splicing, and it's one animal, and it's not like it's not kaiju size creatures running amok through the city. this works for me.
No, it
Critters
does.
didn't, but this one
makes sense.
This one makes sense.
More sense.
It fits in a Batman. This one feels like it fits in a Batman story.
This does, because it's like you said, rich. It's not Farmer John and Ellie Mae. It's not like that.
Farmer Brown and Emmylou.
There you go. And again, you're pixelating. Good, man. It's bad today. But yeah. So, I mean, it makes a little bit more sense. And it's one creature. And it fits with the story because, yeah, it's like, all right, so Batman has to, it's like, okay, so Batman has to, like you said, it fits because he's just facing one cat.
Yeah.
And, he's going to have to do his best. And then, of course, we have Catwoman who's sitting next to Blake, and it's like, okay, is she? But you already know it's like, yeah, she's not gonna just be with these people. And sure enough, she doesn't. She does her thing where she just jumps down there and helps Batman.
Yes, I'm guessing this is where the clip's going to be.
Yeah, this is where we're going to start getting into it, of course. Where obviously they're helping each other. It's not going to be let's see, right here where we get the, again, which is already established, which is good because it's like, oh yeah, she already established this in the beginning where it's like, oh, and right there. Oh, and then, yep. Oh, and then he's like, what the fuck? He's all bleeding and all just like, Jesus Christ.
He's got the shit torn out of him.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, this thing's got some saber-toothed tiger in it, clearly.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Look at him crouched down.
I know, he kind of had like a little Spider-Man stance going.
A little bit.
And how do I get up?
Yeah. I'll help you. After what I just did for you, you don't trust me?
I might have been knocked out twice tonight, but I still have my long-term memory.
Great line. That's a great line.
Totally a great line. Like, of course he's not going to trust you. Jeez, why would he?
How many times have you stabbed him in the back? I mean, seriously.
And then right here, it's like, is she?
I love the little piano.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it trails off as you think she's not going to do anything for him.
Come on.
Yeah. It's always fun to see Batman, no cape. And then he gets sliced right there. It's like, dude, he's
no, he just lost his spine right
there. Alfred's got some stitching to do. He's got some wounds to tend to right here.
Oh.
And then he's just like, fuck it. And then look at her. She's like, yeah, you get him, bad boy.
Okay, there we go. Batman versus Catman. I am the Catmarine.
There's her.
Yes. Now she's going to be wearing the sexy white. Now we're wearing the cool red polka robe.
Ouch. And I love that. Yep. That was easy enough, right?
Oh, we're going to laugh. God, they're just going at it. This is kind of funny to me also, because right about now is also when in the we had Amalgam Comics, and we would have had Dark Claw. So just seeing Batman holding those claws, thinking about that combination of Batman and Wolverine from the Amalgam universe.
And this cat's like, nope, I want to fuck this guy up. Ouch. All right. Yeah, I know he's still breathing, but there's no way.
There's no way. But notice, we have to make sure we remember, as long as they're breathing,
yes,
they're not dead.
It's all good.
Now, he's in a coma and probably won't walk for the rest of his life.
Oh, yeah, his ribcage and his sternum and everything.
His spine, because he landed on his back.
And I love this right here. You got a like a bandaged
The
up
cat'll go to
Batman
Gotham Zoo.
shirtless talking to
I expect. I'd
Drinking
like to see
coffee.
those cultists
Drinking
in the
coffee.
cage too.
He's like a fucking
But the law
cop.
says
He's
they're
a
entitled to a
detective or a
trial.
full-on detective
You've
right
got
here.
plenty of stolen goods in there for evidence.
Do you?
There's enough to convict them, but it's not as much as you'd expect.
Oh, damn
Oh.
it. How did she do it? And then she's in Paris,
Beluga or Sevruga?
and she's just like, oh, I'm just going to
Ah,
scatter all the fucking...
Now, this is a cool image because this also
You know,
reminds me
Isis, I had no
the
idea
Tom
being
King
on the
run
right
of
side of the law
Batman.
could be so
There was,
satisfying.
there was a scene where
I
like
guess virtue is
they're
its own
like Batman and
law.
Catwoman are having sex and they're surrounded by like the diamonds she's stolen.
Oh.
It's like I love how this image played out later. I'm sure Tom King had this in mind or something like this when they wrote that scene because I think it was probably in that two-parter Rooftops where that was in. So if you haven't read that, that's a really cool Batcat story.
There you go. But yeah, she made it out. She's in Paris. She's enjoying herself.
Feeding caviar to her cat.
I know. Jeez, the cat's living a better life than
Us.
Man, everybody, right? So there you go, guys. There's a cult of the cat right there, and not a bad. Like I said, it's a fun episode. It's a
fun episode. It's
a
fun.
good Catwoman and Batman episode. You have their dynamic. Batman, of course, is just like Jesus Christ. It's like, man, if I wanted scratches on my back, I would have just had sex with you. God damn it, Selena. But no, he's got some deep scratches that are happening right there. So, anyways, what do we got next week?
We don't have anything next week
What?
because I'm going to be in Atlanta watching Twilight of the Gods. So we're not doing anything next week.
That's right. You're gonna go see Twilight of the Gods.
And
right.
Zach, and because he's going to be there.
Yeah.
So yeah, so folks, no Fan-imated stream next week because I'm going to leave work, drive directly to Atlanta, and hope I get a seat because it's one of those deals where like it's the first come first serve. Like the tickets were free, but they gave more tickets than they've got seats. So, but I'm going to be meeting up with a couple of people and some more internet friends who I haven't met in real life yet. So next week's going to be an opportunity to meet them. So I'll be posting about that later. And and I should be able to, see Zach. He's going to be signing posters and we're going to watch the first 2 episodes of Twilight of the Gods. And according to the tweet, he's also supposed to be giving an update about a Rebel Moon game. So I'm just
Rebel Moon game. So
I'm just like, what all am I in for? But I have a ticket. And I'm booking it. It's just under a 2.5 hour drive, traffic depending, because it's also Atlanta. So
I get it. And go ahead and exit out and come back in again, Jace.
We can't even finish the stream.
I know. I was like hoping. I was like, hold out. It's not holding out. I don't know. I saw that. I was like, of course, when he's talking about going to that. But yeah, Scott did tell me that he was trying to grab a ticket to that. And yeah, some other people are going to be there too that I know grab tickets. So that should be fun, man.
Yeah, so no stream so we're taking a week off for Fan-imated.
A week off, okay.
For the 18th. So everyone mark your calendars. So when we come back on September 25th, we're going to be watching another Batman episode. We're still in Gotham, and we're going to be watching Animal Act.
Animal Act. Man, I don't remember. That doesn't sound familiar.
Well, as soon as it starts, it's all like you probably can look at the thumbnail, and it's all going to come back to you.
I kind of want to do that right now. Should I do it? Should I look at the thumbnail?
Look.
That's next. Let's see. Yeah. Ooh, The Exorcist is on Max. Anyways. It opened up and I'm like, The Exorcist. I'm like, okay. What do we... Oh, is my thing... Okay, there we go. What was it called again?
Animal Act.
Animal Act. Where are we? Okay. There's a girl with a snake on her, and I'm like, that looks familiar. Okay. Yeah, I remember a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
I remember a little bit, especially when I read like because it shows like a brief little synopsis, and I saw the name that it said right there, and I was like, "Oh yeah, this is we're gonna get a little backstory on a little bit of let's say one of the characters that was swinging in the circus."
Yep.
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 Little
Yep.
circus callback here. So you guys know what
Absolutely.
we're talking about. Come on, you know what we're talking about. All right, so that'll be fun. But yeah, all right, cool. So next week, follow Scott and his adventure to Atlanta to see Twilight of the Gods, and then we'll be here 2 weeks from now to talk about Animal Act.
Ooh.
Fun. All right, and of course, plug away right now, Scott.
Well, of course, you can find me on Twitter X at ScottDC27, on Instagram at McMerlin, and on Vero at Scott McClellan. You can listen to my latest episode of the DC TV Squadcast in your podcatchers right now, where Ray and I break down our thoughts on the first 2 seasons of My Adventures with Superman. And of course, you can find the entire network of shows at squadcastmedia.com. We're also Vero, Facebook, and YouTube. So once again, make sure you're subscribed over at Squadcast Media on YouTube, where hopefully, if my children, behave themselves, you should be getting a very interesting first reaction to Transformers 1 this Saturday.
Love it. Can't wait for that. Looking forward to it. And yeah, guys, hit that like, thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already. We'll see you in 2 weeks, or we'll see you on Friday, when it comes to the vodka stream and everything. Got plenty to talk about. All right, guys, we love you, and we will talk to you later.